Welcome to What Are Those, the show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Okay, so today it's a bit of a follow-up to last week's show, man. We did the top 5 non-Jordan brand signature sneakers. I know that's a mouthful. Okay, and it went over well, man. People shared their opinions, and that's what I always want. But I did get some complaints. It was interesting. I got some complaints. People felt like there's no way to do this and count down signature sneakers without including MJ. So today I got the hat on for a reason. Because what we're doing today is we're counting down my, just like last week, it was my list, my personal list, my personal favorite top 5 Jordan brand sneakers of all time. These are my favorites, okay? And of course, I want you all to share and let me know which sneaker you have on your list, what I missed, all of that. Follow me, MSR_Adam, and we can get that done. And again, follow the team, man. Before we jump to it, follow the team up on Game Network. A lot of cool things going on the network, man. I got a cool show for you guys. We're going to get into that in a few. But before that, I got a pickup to show you. And I want to talk about a couple of drops. A couple of things that's been going on in the sneaker world that I've noticed. And I just want to share my opinion on that real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, so I told you guys about this sneaker. I had my man Paul Span on. We talked about this sneaker right here, okay? We said that this needs to be a DC exclusive. It wasn't. There was no celebration or theatrics. It's almost as if Mike didn't play here. And I really don't. Just real quick before we get into this sneaker, both from Jordan Brand, Jordan Brand is finally embracing it, but both from Michael Jordan himself and from the Washington Wizards themselves, as an organization, this erasure and this pretending like Michael Jordan never played for the Wizards is kind of silly. Was it his best moment? No. But did he have some cool moments, especially for this city? Yeah, and you should probably ask around the people that live here, people that were around, people that experienced the back-to-back 50-point games, just the experience of having Michael Jordan play in your hometown. I'm sure a lot of people experiencing that with LeBron playing in their hometown, right? Michael Jordan playing in your town for a small team like the Wizards was a big deal. It should be celebrated. And I'm only saying that because the Wizards this past season did a whole, I think, like 25-year anniversary of the Wizards colorway and all this, and the switch to the Wizards. They were wearing the old uniforms. They pretended like Mike wasn't even part of it. And I'm sure Mike had a big part of that as well. So anyhow, we do have this, though, the Jordan 3 Wizards. Maybe this is Mike's way of doing it, okay? And I'm very, very happy because I got my hands on this sneaker, and I really wanted to get my hands on this sneaker, so I'm going to break it down really quickly. I'm going to do a little short sneaker review because I really, really like it, all right? Hold tight. So, you all saw the packaging. You saw what it is, man. Let me hold it over here. You all saw the packaging. You saw what it is, man. This thing is basically a true blue. If you're a fan of the true blue, you're going to like this sneaker right here, man. But what I do like about it is, of course, the Wizards copper hits. Now, this is a Jordan PE player edition. He wore these while playing for the Washington Wizards, okay? So there's a couple of differences between this and the true blue. The main difference is the copper piping on the Jordan brand logo, the copper coloring, I should say, on the bottom of the sole. I like this, man. I like this hit. And again, even though the Wizards don't even wear these uniforms anymore, they wear the red, white, and blue like the Bullets did back in the day. And by the way, you all don't care about the Wizards. I'm the only Wizards fan. Me and Mike Sykes, we're the only Wizards fans that exist on Earth, okay? So, sorry about that. But again, it represents DC, and it's just a DC thing. So the copper hits on this are obviously from the Washington Wizards throwback uniforms, okay? But what I also like about this one is this like silk kind of like lining that's on the inner. I don't know what material this is. It's like a nylon. It's different than what's normally inside of the Jordan 3. It makes it thinner. It makes it a little more comfortable to wear. You could tell he wore this to balling because it was a little easier on the ankle, stuff like that, man. This is a really, really, really good sneaker. Obviously, the true blue is the true blue. All right, the red, white, and blue. I get it. It's a difference. But if you are not able to get your hands on the True Blue, and you are not able, and you want something that just comes super close, and you want something that's a little special, and especially if you're from the Washington, D.C. area, if you're from the DMV, I suggest this sneaker right here, man. I'm in love with this one, man. I've been really enjoying my pickups lately, man. I've been doing pretty good on some pickups, okay? And I like sharing pickups with you guys, okay? So, yeah, the Jordan 3 Wizards, super cool. Oh, by the way, you got the Nike, you got the Jumpman on the back. You don't have Nike Air on the back, which makes sense. I don't think they had Nike Air on the back. They might have, but it makes sense. This is when Jordan Brand was really trying to kick off Jordan Brand. Makes sense. Okay, what I like, Nike Air on the back, obviously always, but this is cool with me. I'm cool with this one, man. These things were $210, I believe. Inflation is what it is, man, but I recommend them. I like them. They are still available at some places, which brings me to my next topic, and let me jump right into that right now. So, yeah, man, I've been talking about pretty much since the beginning of the year about how sneaker culture is in the middle of a shift, and some people are kind of thrown off about that, right? I've been raving about, like, resale and stuff like that, and, whenever I bring up resellers, whenever I say the name reseller, the word reseller, resellers contact me and kind of go on me. It's interesting because I'm not anti-reseller. What I am is pro people being able to get their hands on sneakers for retail. And in order for that to happen, some stuff is going to sit. Now, that Jordan 3 I just showed you, it did sit for a few minutes. It was a sitter for most of the day, but by the end of the day, it sold out, okay? The Lucky Greens have been sitting, Jordan 1 Lucky Green. Other sneakers have been sitting around, and people seem to be thrown off by this, right? But even with everything that we have that's sitting, and I think this is a good thing, okay? I think it was good that you had the majority. I went to the store and picked up these Jordan 3s, all right? I didn't do sneakers or anything like that. I actually went to the mall and walked into a store, and honestly, I lucked up by being able. I just got there early enough, and I lucked up by being able to just pick those up, and that's because I just really wanted those. My Taxi 1s, I walked in the store and got those, but those was another sneaker that was sitting, right? So, it's all this talk about Jordan 1s being dead. I talked about that already on the show. Go check out the older episode. You could hear me rant about that. For everything that's sitting, there's still super duper hype. Okay, and if you recall last week, I told you that I would be going for two sneakers. I was going to be going for the Jordan 3 Wizards, which I got my hands on. And there's another sneaker I didn't get my hands on. It's empty. I didn't get this one. That was the Travis Scott, I believe, Olives. Okay. Now, that's a Travis Scott. That's a hard sneaker. I lucked up. Super lucked up on those Phantoms. That was like a meteor hitting my fingertip, okay? That's not going to happen again, okay? I wasn't expecting really to hit, but it did show me that there's still a lot of hype out there, and there's a good balance between hype and GRs. And it's okay. We need both. See, the problem was a couple of years ago, we only had hype, and sneakers were just hard to get, and it became a reseller's game as opposed to a people's game. That's my only problem. It's not the reseller. It's the fact that the people just didn't. I mean, listen, the people, but I mean it. The people didn't get their opportunity to buy the sneakers that they want. That was my only problem. I no longer have that problem because certain sneakers are available. We can call them. We can say they sit and whatever. If you want a really nice Jordan 1, you can go get you a Lucky Green. You could probably find it in the store, and if you go on resale, if you have to do resale at this point because it's been some weeks, you're probably going to spend $20 over retail, which is okay. But for real, you could probably find them sitting in some store. Okay? I could go on there's 13 sitting around, there's 7 sitting, certain pairs of 3s are sitting, okay? There's stuff sitting around, and that is good. But the hype stuff, like this Travis Scott that just dropped, I missed on every raffle I did, and I did about 4 of them, and that's including sneakers. And that's okay, too. You still got to have, like, your prestige sneakers. It makes sense. Now, there's a shock drop that's going to happen later on today. Now, I'm recording this show on Tuesday. By the time this comes out, the shock drop will or wouldn't have happened already, okay? And that is the Between the Spider-Verse Jordan 1s, the second version of these, okay? The second version of these, I'm probably not going to hit on the sneakers. The shock drop is going to be hard. It's going to hit immediately. As soon as it goes on there, it's going to be gone. I'm going to try for it. Yeah, because I got a sickness. I'm sorry. I like going for this stuff. But I'm okay with this. This is cool to me. Sometimes you get the hype stuff you can't get your hands on. You be prepared to pay the resale if you want, or you just go ahead, hit the store, and get you something that's almost just as good, if not better. If not better. I honestly, I like the Jordan 3 Wizards better than the Travis Scotts. Call me crazy. The Travs that just dropped. And I think I like them better than the Spider-Verse joints. So this is good. This is good news I'm sharing with the people today, okay? I'm here to spread the good news, all right? Sneaker culture is in good shape. Don't let nobody tell you anything different, all right? Sneaker culture is what you make it. There's no rule book. There's no sneaker council that tells you it's good or it's bad. And oh, by the way, the resale is down on certain Travis Scotts and all that, man. I mean, if you want, it's still some bread, don't get me wrong, but it's not $1,200, $1,300 and any of this insane prices, okay? So, to me, this is a good thing. Be happy about this. It's balance in the force. It's balance in the game, all right? Okay, let's get to this top 5 Jordan brand sneakers, my personal top 5. Let's jump into that right now. Okay, so now I want you all to remember that this is my personal. This one, it's going to be a lot of things missing because I'm only doing 5, and it's so many. Think about Jordan brand. That's why I didn't want to include that in the last list, is that Jordan brand is the standard. It's the best. I mean, it is what it is. We can lie about it. Some people can hate on it. It is what it is. Jordan brand is the standard, so it's very difficult to whittle down a list of 5 of them. Okay, 5, and without being super duper cliche, and some of these are probably going to be real cliche, but I'm going to try to mix it up because it's things I like. All right, so we starting at number 5. Number 5 is the Jordan 7 Bordeaux. One of my favorites all time. Man, listen. And I know 7s aren't real popular right now, but who cares about that, by the way? Shouts out to Mike Rich, who is a big Jordan 7s fan. But even he'll tell you Jordan 7s, they don't sell out. The Cardinals, I think, are still sitting in the stores right now. You know, 7 sit. 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, you know, 10s. Yeah, they sit. They sit. And that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. But this one, now I had a pair of these and I had them for years. This picture you're seeing is my personal pair. I finally got rid of them after years. Well, I didn't really give. They just kind of sitting in the closet, just dog to the max. Cause I wore these things, man. I love this sneaker. They remind me of like Barcelona. I know they're not the Barcelonas, but they remind me of like that '92 Dream Team era. You know, that peak Jordan for real, man. This is when, you know, I was a little kid. And that's why I say this is a personal list for me. This is when I was a child. And Michael Jordan didn't even seem like a human being to me. And that's why I understand like the difference between like the younger generation and their love for LeBron and their love for Kobe, because that's how it was for them. I was an adult watching Kobe Bryant, a teenager and an adult. And I was definitely a full-grown man watching LeBron James for most of his career, as it continues, by the way. So I'm just not going to feel the same for LeBron. But for Michael Jordan, man, you know, dude didn't seem like a human being around this time. As a little kid, I was obsessed with Michael Jordan and all things Jordan. You know, I really thought he could fly. I really thought I was 10 years old at this time when the sneaker came out, 9 or 10. I thought the man could really fly. I thought he was just, you know, just a special being. And when I think about this sneaker, I think about those times. I also think about the old heads on the block that just was super cool wearing this sneaker, man. And I love that every tongue on the sneaker is a little bit different. That pattern is just different. It's so cool. I'm convincing myself into buying these things again, man, getting another pair of them, because I really, really enjoy wearing them. It's a comfortable sneaker too. I think the Jordan 7 for me is probably the most comfortable Jordan. I have to really think about that, but I know that one I always feel like super comfortable wearing that Jordan. It's that and the Olympic 7s, man. That it's like a head-to-head battle. I went ahead with the Bordeaux because the Bordeaux just has like nostalgia, man. It reminds me of early 90s hip-hop, man. It reminds me of like, you know, Zulu Nation and Tribe, you know what I mean? It reminds me of it's got a feeling to it. So that's my number 5, the Jordan 7 Bordeaux. Let me know what will be number 5 on your list. Let's get to number 4. Okay, so number 4 is a pair of sneakers I literally wear every day. Why I didn't bring them up to the studio, I don't know. They're sitting downstairs. That's how much I wear these things. They're sitting downstairs, like in the kitchen, like in the the our little shoe area, for I like slip on shoes when we going to take out the trash. We went into the store doing stuff, and then when I tell you these things are dogged, these things are dogged. I think I've shown them on the show before. These things are dogged, but people still mention them when I wear them. It's wild to me. People still bring them up. That's how you know it's an iconic sneaker. We talking about the Jordan 3 Bread. This is iconic. I don't have to explain to you why it is. Again, I wear this sneaker every single day, man. I got them on the re-release a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, shouts out to my man Sharif. He helped me get my hands on these, and I kept these things clean for a while, man. And shout out to Soul Wash, by the way. I took them to Soul Wash about a year ago, maybe 2, and got them kind of like resurrected. And I was able to get some more wears out of them. Now I take walks in them. I walk the baby, me and the wife and August go outside. We do little walks or whatever. These are kick around sneakers for me at this point. And will I be able to get another pair? I'm gonna try. They're a little expensive, so I'll try. But I'm just happy to have had these for this long, man. Again, I tell my personal story about this sneaker because I don't have to tell you about this one. This is just a classic. I don't got to tell you about the Jordan 3 Bread. This is one of those you knew it was going to be on the list joints. You knew it. This is just a classic colorway for all Jordans. And the Jordan 3, I just showed you a pair of 3s. Okay, 3s are probably going to be my go-to for the summer. 3s are just where it's at, man. The Jordan 3 Bread. I don't got to say nothing else about this one. This is just, look at it. It is what it is. Let's get to number. Oh, let me know what's number 3. I'm sorry. Let me know what's number 4 on your list as well. I got kind of lost in this one, man. Let me know what's number 4 on your personal list. All right. Let's get to number 3 on my personal Jordan brand all-time Jordans list. All right. So y'all know what this one is as well, man. This is another one that's just sort of it's going to be on the list, man. Classic is super similar to the one I just showed you. Matter of fact, it's just the newer version of the one I showed you. It's the Jordan 4 Bread. Okay. Now, I was battling in my mind Jordan 4 White Cement, the Do the Right Thing joints. I've showed you the sneaker on this show a million times. I have that sneaker sitting in the closet again somewhere, more beat up than my 3s. Another one I wore all the time. When you wear the Jordan 1 White Cement, and I got to talk about that one just for a second, you feel like you are representing the things that I love about this culture. I talk about it all the time. Sneaker culture is a subculture of hip-hop culture, which is a subculture of black culture, and that sneaker just represents it. But for me, the bread is just more attractive. The bread is just more attractive to me. I don't have this sneaker, actually. I've been hunting this one for a while. I just been trying to find a good price on it. Some people really want to, crack your head for these. I don't think I want to spend $500, $600 for this sneaker. You know what I mean? I know I don't. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to find them for a good price without them being some worn beaters. You know what I mean? So that's been the difficulty. So that's why I don't have this sneaker. And I actually missed the re-release a couple of years ago. I just wasn't able to do it. So this is something I'm hunting. In fact, if you listen to this show, help your boy out, man. Let me know where I can find a pair of Jordan 4 breads, man, for a decent price, size 12. I'm trying to get my hands on those, man. You got them for a decent price, I'm going to do business with you. I'm willing to do business with you. These are super cool. They're classics, man. I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking about this one. This is a classic. There's nothing I can say on this show that's going to offer anything new to the conversation about the Jordan 4. That's number 3 on my list. It's just super dope. That's my personal 3rd favorite Jordan of all time, the Jordan 4 Bread. Let me know what will be number 3 on your list, and let's get ready for number 2. Okay. Number 2 could have easily been number 1 on my list. I had a real battle between 1 and 2, and 1 won out because of my personal nostalgia with the sneaker. This one is a little newer, well, a lot newer. Um, and it's a twist on the old version. In fact, it's a twist on the ultimate D Jordan, the Jordan 1, and that is the Jordan 1 Off-White Chicago. This is $1 million sneaker almost, okay? I'm exaggerating, but this thing's cost, thousands of dollars on the resale. It's Virgil. It's Virgil, okay? But it's also, for me, there's so many variations of the Jordan 1 Chicago. We just got one, right? We got the reimagined ones. I'll tell you about the shock drop that's happening today. You got the In Between the Spider-Verse, the second one or the first one, right? You got the original cut Jordan 1, or you got the newer cut Jordan 1. You got Jordan 1 Lows Chicago's, right? You got Jordan 1 KO Chicago's. You got Jordan 1 Mid Chicago's. You got all sorts of Jordan 1. I think they had like Fly Knit Jordan 1 Chicago's, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so many variations of this sneaker. But for me, my personal list, the Jordan 1 Off-White Chicago is the coolest version of them all. I mean, again, the classic, and I've talked about the classic. What I think the classic is classic, right? But the Off-White version of this, with the deconstructed hits, and you got to put yourself back in a time when this was new. You see, that's what you have to do. You have to put yourself back in a time when this was new. Now we got Off-White, all sorts of stuff, the deconstructed thing, we get it, and rest in peace, Virgil. But when this was new, there was, to see the Jordan 1 like this was fascinating to me. And then to be able to add different hits of color in there was fascinating to me. Wearing a Jordan 1 with green laces, with the tab on the side, right? With the deconstructed wings, fascinating to me. Fascinating. No, I don't have this sneaker, by the way. Of course not. This thing was it's shockingly expensive. Okay? But if I did, they'd probably be dogged by now. I ain't gonna lie to you. They'd probably be dogged by now. I tried to buy the North Carolina versions of these, again, which is another beautiful sneaker. Could have easily been on this list. I just like the Chicago better. I got burnt on them. I got basically somebody sold me some really like some terrible fakes. Honestly, and that's my fault for just being a little pressed. Lucky I didn't spend, and the price was too good too. That's the one lesson I learned. But these, I don't know if I'll ever get my hand on a pair of these. I don't see how I can. I doubt it. Okay, something really great is going to have to happen to me financially for me to really go out on them and buy these. But still, without even owning them, it's my favorite and my second favorite Jordan of all time. The details, the dirt is obviously in the details on these, and it's just super duper. And I think, honestly, this is the best Virgil has done with Nike. This is the best Jordan 1. This is the coolest the Jordan 1 has ever looked to me. And I think people are still trying to go. I think like even the reimagined Jordan 1, I realized what they were going for. But that's you don't get the reimagined Jordan 1, in my humble opinion, without the Off-White Jordan 1. That's just my opinion. So that's number 2 on my list. My number 2, my second favorite Jordan of all time. That's just my opinion. Let me know what will be your second favorite Jordan of all time on your personal list. Okay? Now let's get to number 1. Number 1. I think about Allen Iverson, man. I went to a game years ago. He was playing for Georgetown. Okay, at the MCI Center. Allen Iverson, Victor Page. Whew. Seen Allen Iverson, young AI with the Georgetown jersey on, with the black and white Georgetown jersey on, with the gray in it, the blue. Get the ball. Throws the sweetest full court pass to Vic Page I've ever seen. It's a young man, 1996, I think. Ball player. Thinking I'm going to be AI one day too. I wasn't. But loving basketball, playing basketball. I probably had the basketball in my hand while watching this game, man. I was fascinated by this. I was just that someone to have that much skill. I just didn't think it was possible, other than the man himself. And for Allen Iverson to be a kind of hometown hero from Virginia, playing for Georgetown, that meant a lot to DC. I just told you about how like DC sneakers and DC things, we don't get a lot of that. So this stuff is always going to mean something to me. Well, guess what sneaker that man had on? If you're a sneaker enthusiast, you know. If you're a basketball enthusiast, you know that he had on the Concord 11s. The Concord 11 is my hands down all-time favorite sneaker. Probably my favorite sneaker, but definitely my favorite Jordan of all time. I don't care what you think about 11s at this point. There's nothing for me more classic than the Jordan 11 Concord. It's clean. You could wear it wherever. I don't have to say much about it. You could wear it to the prom. You could wear it to your wedding. It's a tuxedo sneaker. It's meant to be worn with tuxedos, and people hoop in them. And it's just slick. They're cool. It's the coolest sneaker. This thing reminds me of like James Bond. But really reminds me of Allen Iverson running up and down the court. To me, this is AI sneaker. Now, of course, Michael Jordan was dogging the. I want to say this was around the time he's playing the Seattle Supersonics. He's probably dogging Sean Kemp and them in the finals with these joints on. No doubt. But Allen Iverson, Georgetown Hoyas, John Thompson. Shouts out to Victor Page, man. Hope you're doing well. Man, DC in the 90s. This is it. That's my all-time favorite Jordan. For me. I want to know what will be your all-time favorite Jordan. Take some time to think about that, man. Put together a list like you did last week and let me know what you guys think, man. All right, that's me. Those are my 5 Jordans of all time. Again, hit me up. Let me know what you got. I'm looking forward to it. All right, man, that's my show. Get ready to wrap this thing up, man. Thank you all for all of the dialogue in my reels and in the comment section and all that, man. That's all we ever ask for, man. That's why we do this show, okay? I'll let you know what happens with those Spider-Verse ones. I doubt I get them, but if I do, I will show them to you on this show. And I do plan on getting my hands on some lucky green ones. I will show you them as well. And whatever else I cop in the meantime, I'll be sure to show you guys, man, on this show, okay? So thank you so much, man. Remember to follow me, MSR_Adam, MSR_Adam, for all of my content. You can also listen to the Butler Did It podcast, the Butler Did It podcast. You can check me out on YouTube, the Butler Did It podcast pro, or you can just go to my Twitter, my Instagram, or wherever, and you can find all the links for that as well. That's my other podcast. Talk about all sorts of other stuff on there. All right, check it out. Follow the squad, the Up On Game Network, the Up On Game Network on all podcasting platforms, on YouTube, and of course on all social media outlets. Follow the team, the On My Feet Network, on all social media platforms, and they're on YouTube as well, man. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to mind your mental health. Always do that. It's super important. You can't do it without it. All right, mind your physical health. It all goes together. And remember to always and never forget to be great. I'm up out of here.